Ever loved an old movie star so much that you thought they'd be famous forever, only to wonder whatever happened to them? Back in the silent film days, some actors were untouchable, especially the action stars. But then the movies started talking, and just like that, everything changed. We have 3 such actors lined up for you. If silent movies had a superhero, it was Douglas Fairbanks. He wasn't just a movie star, he was the movie star. The one who flipped off buildings, swung from ropes, and grinned while doing it all. He had the looks, the moves, the charm, and for a while, he was Hollywood. But even legends can hit a wall, and for Fairbanks, that wall was sound. Before Tom Cruise ever jumped off a building, there was Fairbanks, sword in one hand, smirk on his face. Born in 1883, this guy started acting in silent films around 1915, and it didn't take long before he was everywhere. His secret? He made being heroic fun. Movies like The Mark of Zorro, Robin Hood, and The Thief of Baghdad weren't just popular, they were blockbusters. He did all the stunts himself, climbing walls, sword fighting, flipping through the air. He made action movies feel like magic. When he wasn't jumping off of rooftops, he was marrying Mary Pickford, the biggest female star at the time, building United Artists with Chaplin and others, and of course basically running Hollywood. He had it all, until sound came along. Then came the late 20s, and with them, talkies. Movies suddenly had voices, but for Douglas Fairbanks, the king of silent action, sound was the beginning of the end. His first talkie, The Taming of Shrew, co-starring Mary Pickford, flopped. The charm was gone, the chemistry felt off. It played like a silent film with someone awkwardly narrating in the background. Fairbanks hated it. Mics killed his freedom, stunts got harder, chain smoking wrecked his lungs, and while others had adapted, he bowed out. A legend losing interest just as the game changed forever. He tried one more time, The Private Life of Don Juan in 1934. Classic Fairbanks role, romantic, flashy, action-packed. But by then, audiences had moved on. The world wanted snappy dialogue and newer stars. So Fairbanks walked away. No big farewell, no comeback tour. He just stopped. Retired from acting, took some trips, and hung out in Europe. In 1939, he died of a heart attack at 56. One of the biggest movie stars in history, gone before most people today had ever heard his voice. Some stars crash, some fade, and some, they just say one wrong word, and it's over. John Gilbert was that guy. In the 1920s, he was the king of romance on screen. The great lover, they called him. Women swooned. Men try to copy his style. He had the face, the fire, the films, and when he shared a screen with Greta Garbo, forget it, the whole theater steamed up. Then came sound, and just like that, ironically, silence. Gilbert didn't start in the spotlight. He stumbled into silent films around 1915, just another hopeful face. But producers noticed his screen presence, and by 1924, MGM had him signed. That same year, hits like Merry Widow and He Who Gets Slapped made him a rising star. Then, The Big Parade in 1925 launched him into full-blown fame. In 1926, Flesh and the Devil paired him with Greta Garbo. Their on-screen chemistry was electric, and off-screen, they fell hard for each other. The media went wild, and MGM leaned in. Gilbert wasn't just popular, he was Hollywood royalty. But here's where the record scratches. In 1929, sound rolled into town, and Hollywood started talking. Gilbert's first talkie? His Glorious Night. Expectations were sky high, and then, my love, I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeah, that's what people heard. And instead of gasping or tearing up, they laughed. Audiences literally laughed in the theater, not because his voice wasn't bad, just average, not high, not weird, just flat. The real problem? The way they wrote and directed it. Over-the-top dialogue, stagey delivery, and Gilbert, who wasn't trained for this new kind of acting, looked totally lost. His aura? Gone in one scene. Here's where it went all downhill. People love to say Gilbert's voice ruined him, but that's just a myth. His voice was actually totally fine. Plenty of actors had similar ones and did great. The real problem? Louis B. Mayer. The head of MGM and Gilbert hated each other. Mayer didn't like being challenged, and Gilbert didn't like being controlled. So Mayer tanked his career from the inside. Bad scripts, bad directors, doomed projects. When the films flopped, Mayer just pointed and said, "See?" And just like that, MGM's golden boy was being shoveled out the back door. He tried to bounce back and took smaller roles, even reunited with Garbo and Queen Christina. It had its charm, but the magic was gone. By the mid-1930s, he still looked the part, but the shine had faded. Lost in the shadows of Hollywood's next big things, he slipped into drinking and never really climbed out. In January of 1936, at just 38 years old, John Gilbert died of a heart attack. Some say it was the drinking, some say it was the heartbreak. Probably both. He had all the pieces, the looks, the fame, the talent. But Hollywood is brutal. It lifts you high and then drops you even faster. And Gilbert, he never had a parachute. His death didn't make headlines the way his romance with Garbo once did. No big tribute, no farewell, just another tragic ending from an era full of them. Was it him? Maybe a little. He didn't adapt. He couldn't fake it. And when the camera stopped loving him, he didn't know how to fight back. Buster Keaton was a human cartoon in the best possible way. He flipped off buildings, dodged trains, and ran through chaos like it was another Tuesday, all with a straight face. Always with a straight face. They called him the Great Stone Face, but his comedy, it hit like dynamite. People didn't just laugh, they howled. And back in the silent film days, that was gold. But his fate was cruel. In 1917, Buster Keaton started making short films with Fatty Arbuckle and instantly stood out. While others overreacted, Buster stayed calm, stoic, magnetic. The guy didn't need to shout, his silence did the talking. By the early 1920s, he was writing, directing, and starring in his own films. One Week, Sherlock Jr., The General, every one a mix of genius, chaos, and perfect timing. What made him legendary? He did every stunt himself. No doubles, no cheats, just raw talent, nerves of steel, and a brain wired for brilliance. Keaton wasn't just a comedian, he was cinema's original daredevil. In 1928, Keaton made a movie that changed everything, and not in a good way. He signed with MGM. Sounds like a win, right? Big studio, big money. At MGM, they took away his creative control. No more directing, no more crazy risks. Just scripts he didn't write and scenes that didn't fit him. They made him safe. And safe was one thing Keaton never was. Then came sound, and it hit Buster like a brick wall. Keaton's voice was fine, deep, calm, maybe a little dry, but it wasn't the voice that messed him up, it was the system. Sound comedy needed punchlines, not pratfalls. Needed scripts, not sight gags. Keaton's whole style, the athletic, clever, visual kind of humor, got shoved aside. Suddenly, nobody wanted a guy who didn't talk much. They wanted wisecracks and noise. Buster tried to keep up, made a few sound comedies, and they were okay, but okay wasn't good enough. MGM stuck her in weaker and weaker roles. Then came Personal Mess. His marriage crumbled. He drank more, lost focus, got fired, and hit rock bottom pretty much. By the 1930s, Keaton was doing random side gigs, not starring, just writing gags for other comedians. Jokes he would have crushed 10 years earlier, now passed off to someone else. But even then, even when he was down and out, he never stopped working. Through the 40s and 50s, he made little comebacks, appeared in movies, did TV shows, took small roles in big films like Sunset Boulevard and Limelight. No ego, no bitterness. Just a guy who loved performing no matter where or how. And slowly, people remembered. By the 1960s, the world finally caught on. Critics praised him. Film schools dissected his work. Directors called him a genius. Keaton got standing ovations, honorary awards, and one last brilliant short, The Railrodder, before he passed in 1966. It wasn't just a comeback. It was proof that he never lost it. Just one more ride, one more laugh, a final bow for a man who never needed to raise his voice to be heard. Because here's the truth, Buster Keaton isn't just history, he's the blueprint. Jackie Chan studied him, Wes Anderson borrows from him. He's that important. Which forgotten star shocked you the most? If this video made you rethink Hollywood's golden age, then don't forget to like and share. And if cursed sci-fi legends are more your style, my favorite depiction of them might just surprise you. So definitely subscribe for more.